Hello and a very warm welcome to each one of you for joining in. And today we are starting off with chapter number 9, which talks about it is my intention to be authentic and peaceful with all of my relatives. How many of you agree that there is always something or the other that goes wrong with the relatives and things start to get not so cool, right? Let's see how can we make peace with our relatives, be authentic, and yet achieve peace, right? All right, so here's the chapter, and let's start reading. Your friends are God's way of apologizing for your relatives. I'll repeat that again. Your friends are God's way of apologizing for your relatives, says Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. So why is this said? Because we choose our friends, but we do not have a choice to, choose our relatives. And whatever wrong happens with the relatives, God's way of apologizing for that is by giving us a choice to choose our own friends. Somehow, we allow the expectations and demands of our family members to be the source of so much unhappiness and stress when we want what we want is to be authentically ourselves and at peace with our relatives. I'll repeat that. Somehow, we allow the expectations and demands of our family members to be the source of so much unhappiness and stress that when what we want is to be authentically ourselves and at peace with our relatives. The conflict seems too often to be a choice between being authentic, which means no peace with certain relatives, or having peace at the price of being inauthentic. So we have to, keep on, we actually keep our authenticity at a bay when we have to deal with a few of our relatives. That's what is being talked about here. Making the connection to the power of intention in regard to being around your relatives may sound like an oxymoron to you, but it isn't. Being peaceful and authentic can define your relationship with your relatives. First, though you may have to assess your relationship with your closest relatives of all, you, how others treat you will discover has a lot to do with how you treat yourself and thereby teach others to treat you. All the mentors nowadays, you will hear them telling you that you are the one who train other people how to treat you. How? By treating yourself that way. Now, if you feel that you are surrounded with people who do not treat you well, my dear friend, you have to check on yourself. How are you treating yourself? Are you authentic enough with yourself? Are you respecting yourself enough? Are you loving yourself enough? Whatever you are expecting others to treat you like, first check on yourself whether you are doing it for yourself or not. You get treated the way you teach others to treat you. This is exactly what I said. In an earlier chapter, I urged you to notice your inner dialogue. One of the greatest obstacles to connecting to intention are your thoughts of what others want or expect from you. The more you focus on how upsetting it is that your family does not understand or appreciate you, the more you will attract their misunderstanding or lack of appreciation. Why? Because what you think about expands. Even when you think about what you find unnerving, and even when you think about what you don't want in your life. It is said, whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you think about, you build about. whatever, wherever you bring your focus, you start attracting more of that in your life. And that is why whenever I do my gratitude challenge, I tell people, the more gratitude you do, the God is going to give you multiple more reasons to be more grateful. And if you are ungrateful, God is going to make sure that He gives you more reasons to be ungrateful. Whatever you focus on, it comes through. If you're attracted to this intention, then you most likely already know which family members push your buttons. If you feel as though you have unduly influenced by their expectations and you are a victim of their way of being, you will need to begin by shifting your thoughts of what they are doing to what you are thinking. Say to yourself, I have taught all these people how to treat me as a result of my willingness to make their opinion of me more important than my own. You might want to follow this up by emphatically stating, and it's my intention to teach them how I desire to be treated from now on. I'll repeat this. Say to yourself, I have taught all these people how to treat me as a result of my willingness to make their opinions of me more important than my own. And it's my intention to teach them how I desire to be treated from now on. Taking responsibility for how your family members treat you helps you create the kind of relationship with all your relatives that matches up with the universal mind of intention. How about taking full responsibility of whatever people are doing around you as well? How about thinking of it as कि अगर मेरे साथ कोई गलत कुछ ट्रीटमेंट कर रहा है, I have only trained them to do so. And now I have to make sure that I teach them the right way to treat me as well. It is a very beautiful relationship advice as well. If you are dealing with people who have relationship issues as coaches, if you yourself have any kind of relationship issues, I think this is a very beautiful way to, look at things and turn things around as well. All right. You may be asking yourself, how you can possibly be responsible for teaching people how to treat you? The answer is, in large part, your willingness to not only put up with listening to those familial pressures, some of which are long-term traditions running back countless generations, but also with allowing yourself to disconnect from your divine source and indulge in low energy emotions as humiliation, blame, despair, regret, anxiety, and even hatred. You and only you taught your kin how to treat you through your willingness to accept critical comments from that well-meaning but often interfering and bothersome tribe. Now, it is saying that, you do not have to accept the low energy emotions that other people throw on you. You have to set a boundary for your own sake, for your own self, so that people do not treat you the way they do. All right? Your family relationships are in your mind. When you choose your eyes, your family disappears. When you close your eyes, your family disappears. Where did they go? Nowhere. But doing this exercise helps you recognize that your relatives exist as thoughts in your mind. And recall that God is in the mind with which you are thinking. Are you using your mind to process your relatives in harmony with intention? Or have you abandoned or separated yourself in your mind by viewing your family in ways contrary to the universal source of intention? These people who are related to you are all ideas in your mind. Whatever power they have, you have given them. What you feel is wrong or missing in these relationships is an indication that something is amiss within you. Because broadly speaking, anything you see in anyone else is a reflection of some aspect of you. Otherwise, you would not be bothered by it because you would not notice it in the first place. So, in one of the sessions earlier, when we started off reading this book, also I shared that if you see beauty in others, you have it in you. If you see chaos in others, that is also somewhere inside of you. Because you would not know it is a chaos, you would not be bothered about it if you didn't know what it means. If anything is triggering you, that means that part of whatever you are disliking is in you as well. So next time, I think you can take a note of it and then start working on yourself, and eventually you will see that problem vanishing from your life. In order to change the nature of family members, you will have to change your mind about them and do a somersault into the inconceivable. And what is the inconceivable? It's the idea that you are the source of your anguish. You are the source of the anguish in your relationships, rather than individual whom you have pegged as the most outrageous, the most despicable, or the most infuriating. Over the years, all of these individuals have been treating you exactly as you have allowed them to with your reactions and behaviors. All of them exist as an idea in your mind that have separated you from the source of intention. This can miraculously change when you choose to be at peace with everyone in your life, most particularly your relatives. Every time we have reacted, every time we have felt separated. So this is also a concept that has been discussed in this book earlier, that we have to make sure that we do not see people as separate from us, because people mirror us. We are mirroring. We are standing in the front of the mirror, and whosoever is across the mirror is us, part of us only. And we all are part of that power of intention. So avoid looking at others as others and choose peace with everyone in your life, because you know that you are the creator of all the chaos. Wow. If the focus of your inner dialogue about your family members is on what they are doing, what that's wrong, if the focus of your inner dialogue about your family members is on what they are doing that's wrong, then that's precisely how your relationship with them will be experienced. I still remember one of the days when my husband was talking something about my dad, and parallelly, my dad was talking something about my husband. It happens, it mirrors. If you're thinking that your child is a stupid child, trust me, you will see all the reasons to see him as a stupid child, and he will act in all the ways to make himself see foolish or stupid in front of you. If your inner speech centers on what's annoying about them, that's what you will notice. आप जिस भी चीज के ऊपर फोकस करोगे, आपको अपने आसपास उसी चीज के एविडेंसेस देखने शुरू हो जाएंगे. Whatever kind of, so today in the afternoon while we were reading the Awaken the Giant Within, that then also we were talking about how the empowering beliefs need to have so many evidences, but when you focus on the empowering beliefs, then only you get the evidences for it. If you keep on focusing on disempowering beliefs, or maybe the negative side of anybody, trust me, you will find all the evidences that the people are negative, or the your beliefs are disempowering. You make everything stronger when you bring your focus solely on that thing. Now it is a choice कि अगर आपको पॉजिटिव के ऊपर अपना फोकस लेके आना है कि नेगेटिव के ऊपर अपना फोकस लेके आना है. As much as you are inclined to blame them for your annoyance, it's yours and it's coming from your thoughts. अब सोचो what you think shall come true. Simple. अब जो सोचोगे वही सच होगा. अब आपकी चॉइस है क्या सोचना है. Be thoughtful about your thoughts as well, my sweetheart. If you make a decision to put your inner attention, if you make a decision to put your inner attention, your life energy on something quite different, your relationship will change. If your thoughts where your family relationships exist, you will no longer be annoyed, angry, hurt, or depressed. If in your mind you are thinking, my intention is to be authentic and peaceful with my relatives, then that's what you will experience, even if that relative continues to be exactly the way he or she has always been. This is so beautiful, and trust me, I have experienced this very closely. All right, I think we will take a stop here, and tomorrow we will dive into changing your mind in changing your relationships. All right, or shall we go ahead? We're not far off. So we shall read it tomorrow only. Because today, in any case, we do not have people in the room. So I would love to, have you all with me while we are reading it. Take good care of yourself. Good night. God bless you. And if you're watching this recording, I must say you are one of those souls who is absolutely phenomenal, who is working on their inner being very beautifully. So congratulations and God bless you.